and that's like how they fight. They have like robot arms and shit, and they're really serious. So Joe, who's supposed to be like Kishido no Joe, but it's or like boxing Joe, but it's they call him. I'll get to that in a second. Come on, Joe. So he's fighting in one of those, and he has like a really shitty like metal contraption, right? But it's like, do you understand what I'm talking about? It's
Yeah.
Like, it's a
Yeah, I know.
Kind of, they have like a robot gear to fight.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah, and then he enters a fight, and I think it breaks. The thing breaks, so he can't box as powerfully as like some of the guys he's fighting against. But he's a good boxer, so he beats the dude that has that thing. And so they call him Gearless Joe because he doesn't have the gear that everyone else has. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
When
so
was it?
It came out a couple years ago, and it was in Washington. Me and Tommy watched it a bit, but I finished it, and they made a second sequel to it, like a sequel series to it. But they call him Gearless Joe, and so he goes into these fights against other dudes that have like the metal things and shit, and they're all like tough and scary.
Yeah.
And Joe goes in with just his fucking boxing gloves, and he's
That's
actually
it?
yeah, and he fights one dude that's like a veteran and from like some crazy war or something, and so the guy has like robot legs and robot arms and shit, and Joe beats him. It's like really crazy. And then Joe fights this really rich guy who his gear is like remote controlled, and it responds basically like really quickly to like any movement that the opponent does. And so Joe's like, fuck, how can I beat him? And then so Joe steps into the ring and doesn't swing because the guy's contraption is like computer automated, right?
Yeah.
And then finally the last person that Joe fights is this guy Yuri. And Yuri's like crazy, and Yuri really wants to fight Joe. And Yuri's like, oh, fuck.